Your number one station is Jesse Radio. We are live on TV. Is Jesse Radio, the gospel station in America. We are here to serve you, serve you, serve you, serve you better. Your number one platform, all your business and your commercials. We serve you better. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We serve you better. Your number one gospel station. We are here. We got too close to heaven. King Jesse Radio. You can't stop us now. Radio and TV. Abeiku Santana, watch a trend some no. Or Basani. Sorry, me pensing some will be a sympathy. Tani Ebeya, men sumatin some Kosua, my soup. Medima Fidi and Akoto. Jesse Radio. Me padam senti media to Jesse TV so. I wanna member sem asama ya kanyina ya no pari to do. Say ya politics ya to ya bo wase chrecho unsamo pefe. Ni obanu humodin and ni odio man ni sika bra to correct. Seba o mind sem so ya ku kom ni ami akohwe de ekoso. Di pasitemu, wabrabomu, and in the echo, in the ebo. Our semu, a jumasem, a paya over Fasua, baby. Anopa, drive time show, and you may so you even drive. Now we can digest so. Yeah, the Bema every weekend. Say a bad Namia Samsua, Yatujuma Diabidi, Shanu Didia. Pasia then you Murabia, Sajumadia, the Shishasuo. Yamakwa, what you Madia, so I drink your right. You're ready to comment. Kiss Jesse Radio and TV. We are here to serve you better. Together we can build. Osei. Yes, baby, I ran a make a home. Okay, Yadi no crana, Miss Ro, Akuku, drone at the air, Juma, if you are some, or my Musam, Appiah some, Abatu some, we are Bonia Yabeka, we are Papa Yabeka, King Jesse TV in the radio, Yatasio. Yatasio. King Jesse Radio, King Jesse TV, so party Ashadia, and yet see a
Mame Mamuna Ajo Yamamwache Aha Yamamwakwaba and Famra, your number one station in America, Cairns, Jersey Radio and TV. We are live once again by the grace of God. We are here to serve our God and country, Ghana. Thank God it's Thursday evening and it's exactly 5:43 p.m. in the Eastern Time. Ebraso, Sir Yabajunjuni Omantiasman Ghana home. Sir Ghana beko you, Sir Enko you, if you know me. No. At this time, once again, let me welcome you on board. Good evening and welcome. My name is Abeiku. I'm sitting in tonight to steer the affairs of tonight's show. Tonight's discussion is going to be very interesting and very educative. I believe that you will have time with us. Share. Once you're on the show now, I want you to begin to share the program. Share and like, and let's spread our tentacles to family and friends out there to join us tonight. That's why I played the Ghana national anthem and then I played the American anthem, because we are broadcasting live from America. You know, Sarah, America, you know what I mean? All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. We're gonna begin with the show, but in the meantime, we would like to remind ourselves that we are live on King's Jersey Radio and TV, live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are also live on TikTok as well. We are live on King's Jersey TV on YouTube, King's Jersey TV on Facebook, King's Jersey Multimedia on YouTube. We are also live there. This is your number one station. Right now, I'm coming back. Stay tuned.
ADL, activities of daily living. Baby to say jare, untimi jare. Ebia untimi nante, untimi nye bibi ma wo ho a. Se doctor sign ne say ebia me Emilia meti hey. Ebia me ho mentimi nya ne ma bi me mu was a 6 activities of daily living. So untimi nya mu amtimi perform emu mienu a. Na doctor sign etraka say oh say ya the insurance company if we say claim you be file claim. We say doctor na sign say untimi nya adwuma. It's a honor will living benefit no a set in na ayeden obomba usikana eda hono wo face value na eda hono ya fa ne say 100,000 there were 3 your terminal illness, critical illness, and na chronic illness. Those are the 3 living benefits. So what the right a policy are, those will be your 3 living benefits.
But let me also remind you, this program is proudly sponsored by Top Connect, one of the fastest and reliable way to transfer money from abroad. Now, Top Connect and Abeiku Santana, Midi Huadansiama, Omo Enemre, Omonia Edin Sawoso, Appiah, Ama interviews are Ruayina, Omo Farina, Mseles. We want to make sure you do important interviews on this network for our cherished viewers and listeners to be educated. And the interview yebeye Top Connect Adaroma and remember mebaya and utimi ayeden wasane up kama ama bibia ekoso na uko Ghana yaman Ghana sise de and some hopa na nsambe na edi him edia de ncheche ewo Ghana ebrinti mensa brekra ma menhwe sa mensa beka abrana na wamame be makubi se omudumla te sadia na ekuabru na ne ho che no because oba kokko de light off ba ono no bright wo dem tie obua odnu betwitwi ni sa energy light electric current yo abrana na majo hey a friend a gentle giant not to say about the other room she said the abo akasma and so na abo no nsia menim se mo nso ekobo no ndu ba ko ho mbua ekobo du ba ko ana no ndu ba ko
du ba of du ba ko
ayo na mo ho ya de
ofa adia sta ye nti Atinka boni bia na eni mabusua batare ho sem na esi krom ha
abruwa nana Inti reporter ben kura na de bia da on de arehosam e na ode ba amanfo adan
of course de ba be kan de anwunu ba nso fa be kan ti arehosam no fa aba ti na me kan ho sem a che ofa nye boni so pada roma
adan ombe promises ombe kate so do mo nsi dan no mebua
no ofa sem training bi one journalist bi no ofa atwa na mo nse do ofa adan
o
fane se Asaase no fa na Asaase fa na mentie busuafo o fa me ma me mo mutie me cheche mo ina mama ba tante George na mama Jimaima always wa na nama o fa me cheche mo ina ana afi mama Anaya o fa me chia no na o fa ni nyina ne se me no di nkomo last year se journalist bi afri mu o yare ni yefunu ye ne yake ko fe no kopi hospital no fa o ye ben o free mu of Abena esi we no ope one of the finest and best technicians western region of aminu ya be men o ka ho na of obinim de kwoti bayira mama bayira ama kese ye frɛ no candy boy ni dia wo de radio so na candy boy fa na me ni video ni pictures and they were we rasta man say we rasta man ho for pen no asem kra na ofa enwumre ya bo be se no me nsa no ani nyante sa brante no afi na ofie muja ewum na patron ofie muja ewum no wayare for the past 1 week of ananye gidigidi no masema from so of mpacha of mitia me yawo no so abrana koto eduru no na ho beto of asa of any say abrante afie muja edne ko hospital nwure ya 5 o'clock and of abrante no eto na nanmo nsem do for last year ebepem this year no presenters two and they would say one station of one station presenters two and a free moon of fire with some more happy you could say you know
enti abranti ya medina tu si waye ya media
of a nine gentleman abranti of a technician one understand bo Sunday mutual special on no bo and was sample late drive e was Asuna FM of a
Asuna FM
of Ampacha Asuna FM yem prekwa
ewo kroban so
of what a copa ya offer
who's ordinance a good nabuseya no odwen ada oni obi wo bibi wo krom ho oni obi anya ntawantawa bia wo bebia
wafani nyane say once adwuma na ye no fa metima ka say the whole Ghana no of ya menfi is the adwuma na edin pa of akasa we sweet tiam na so but won podi won pe no ho asem wonne department am kan say wo DJ and technician aspect ho no wo enti wo the of one koye politics enke kam onye bi asem na kopa problem den aba yen kan say e do to say den of ndem minim maybe an so film we na so bowa o ya reka ko fe no dem copy hospital wewu amana kwa ho se mofa
na waware
mofa okay pop ne de won ware but won obi e wo ba ofa
ba onye no ho ade
ofa mpacha dabi ofa me ade me nkwa na ma ye me ho ade o
Hey, gentleman. Sir, open a wait me a poppy. Shall suppo monsieur. Shall suppo monsieur. And ya better. Ebi fa meni so na me yame na ejire me fi mi dani David ana me ni Goliath na me yisu me you know efra me ta no ne brofo e kan say
Abamba Jose
David ne ta no ne friend say catapult
tie okay catapult of
nti me yisu me catapult no na me te Goliath ti na me di ne sunkunim. Oh, abrante onyame mfa ne kra ensie araho pa. Oh. Ewiase nipa ya beje de man never is. Se wa obrofo.
Man never is.
We
Avampache nimpa nse.
Efiewura anka sa obrofo we da. Ane pe me ka chan se wo se oh, untimi no eba no brofo a. No se na wo ehfa school na wakwa wo be challenge no. Na nipa nsa hwe brofo me nya hwe se Efiewura be ka se nipa nsa hwe brofo ye man never is.
Obeka is over saying
And they say Efiewura na ba no abeka nipa nsa hwe brofo etiefo mu amonso mo hwe yetie yen nipa nsa hwe brofo abrana na reporter mu a ose ne brofo ne man never is just say nipa mro nipa nsa hwe we sense we yedi piaka
Obenwa no wo de born man never is e be kire mo se nipa nsa hwe
ayo mate pa man will never be is jinaso Efiewura
Abrana na wona asese no
aha
Ofa no pay brofo no patuja ofa no pay for brofo ntuja
ukromo
ano pay brofo na kan patuja ofa
kumko na munim you say mukra mo ye atwa bonofo awudi samu mu komo too much adenti Abrana na
Vero neigo
any pan say ni brofo your mind is not resemble anything.
Hey! Onukra wa chimo. Efiewura de kura de wa chimo. Man is not resemble anything. Ana.
Yes.
Kasongo ye. No good
You
naga.
resemble this man. You resemble Kwakwa. You resemble Kwakwa. You resemble Appiah. But man is not resemble anything.
Abrana na wate.
ofa se me ka kire o
Ase man is not resemble anything. Ono so ne dia no. Where Oxford University brofo.
Utie me die na utie Efiewura die ya ofa no che se me ye perfect la
This wo mo ewo line yisu program is no mo etimi atwetwere bi aba. Ebusuafo nipa nsa hwe brofo. Abrewa na mama Georgina wo ba no ne brofo oya de pa am so no call Cambridge University. And da hono. Nipa nsa hwe brofo Abrana na say a man never is. Efiewura say ade
Man is not resemble anything.
Man is not resemble anything. Why? What am I mean? Ko ye wadwuma.
ofa no pay ba ko na nka ho
Anapedi obaba kai ba sana woni ho.
ofa kan say
I say one who remove honey don't it's a thank if you Regina so. Ono wa who say someone who remove honey don't wipe his hand on the wall.
From Pacha, I said, "Yeah, oh, you want when she's over tapping sound." So someone who remove honey doesn't. Someone who remove honey don't hate to. Oh, yeah, I say.
Una shahono. If you're
Abrana na say a person who remove honey does not rub his hands on the wall.
aha.
No. It's not. When you use a person, it means singularly, and this is regular. Everybody. It is not a person. It's anybody who remove honey does not rub his hands on the wall.
Anybody who remove honey does not rub his hands on the wall.
Yes, because obia etobia no enya singular plural.
Hey.
Dodo no untimi nka a person. A person is a singular. And this is a regular. So mine is correct.
Obi is a person. A singular. Obi.
Here no ma one am backing vocals we chiri hono. Ono dey not.
Over Obi no a singular and a person who got a somebody. There be somebody means Obi somebody who is somebody. But yeah, can't mean paba. And to be a way you want, it means a person who remove honey.
Ekuabronu dey ono Ekuabronu kempaluta ne Kofi Kinata mo brofo no ti o. Aha. Yo, Madam Wase, thank you all for your contribution. If you are called Echiwa Saba, and I am an immigration lawyer, Eba Bedin Komo, Adajin Niposokra. If you are, thank you. Abrana na. Me who say what send me another pre video bi. Ana
pacha eno no ho.
Aha.
Mamenka asem kakra na enfa no entwa to ofa.
Okay.
Eno no yewi a na ofa me de me stories next. Ofa Asempa ya ba ne se me pemfo no ofa ne yakotwa scan.
Ha.
Na ofa be wo be ma.
Okay.
Nti eno no menka se eno no yasem da.
We no wan hwa ya de ne beto Osei Kwame despite Junior America.
Ofa mpacha sabe pepe.
Nti ya ba gidi no. Ya ba ma ono ama yedin a yemfa nto no.
Ofa ne onini ni nkomo na oma yedin a memfa nto because what the bibia ba say ene okọ hospital ya twa scan na bibia doctor na kira be man tofa da dodo akakora obewo no enhyeda enwa bibiri enwa aka breti be se bosome mi ensan yo fa no ba bewo nti we de Asempa of doctor report na me dey send we sisi
man never is man never is
no oba bewo a bibia na enwa me man dey exercise bi ofa enye easy wa chance exercise on say open for say we exercise so sakakra na o trend to abom kakra ni nyina na ofa wa chance ye ni nyina nti we dey Asempa sia no ho ayeden ene okwaya asabia ofa doctor approve sampa obewo be ma je hwenim se akra no so beba wiase
obeba
na yede na ma ye papa death fight ofa
akra no kra opentem obeba dodo obeba we dey Osei Kwame junior despite ye to badin sise no obi a obabua ma ya adoye bia ye woba pened nato ana am say we na yo Osei Kwame nkonti edin nam say ye beto ne din be 4 ye beto no anaya Osei Kwame Anaya Osei Kwame. Hello. Inipa 5. Debi sa Anaya di obi anim say oba na bema. Ebetumi aye bema. Anaya Osei Kwame despite Junior.
Obedia wo kan dey say emfa.
Emfa.
Enrame emfa ye.
Yo, me da se. Yantu aso. Una wo dey run. Yo, ye dey amiase.
Ne ho ye pa.
Ye dey amiase.
Don say me video bi attend wo exercise we team. Bibi aboko ofa.
Oh, good. Hey, Abrewa Nana.
Ofa.
Adna yakasi. Hwe. Pinfo na woman exercise ano.
Ofonze wanya ne sare ni.
Ye dey amiase. Abrana na eda na ukorante ma wono mu hia curtains. Enya ntuma na wode asan window ya ni.
Obampatan.
Na so dey na o chechire.
Ofa ne bende.
Me baba shepu mattress na omode abra no.
Wow.
What you say? Aha. Enti yambo kira makoshipa no ho na makotam mattress papa na yede abana akora ne baya na omoda so.
Wow.
We dey
eba manemla emla me ensa na me you know. Why?
Hello. Yamba ship no kura fault aba ho. Why?
Oh,
fault aba ship no ho. Aye. Aye.
Yes.
Fault aba ho. Say Likee. Aye. Ship ni Likee. Entimi amba. Adan. O be ya parasite. Painful kakra hwe ne nti. Ya na o teta no ho. Adan.
O fa se we dey me say ina de ba.
Shape no na asa no. Wan ka se be pia wo nsu no so ko Ghana. Be pia ko. Na nso oben. Yo, afe yamfa ba kunta to na minja na time no ya so for your interview. Yanko.
You offer na wo kan yura Anodom pre. Offer the statement wa make you offer bo video no na offer me nchire mu kama e ma tie for na offer yenti de Onua wo kan ye na nu sem ka kumpe fote je no kwakwo num. Offer yen kan ho asem wada ba.
Abusia we aya minority chief whip. Anodom pre MP for nsewoma do agiri. Ensam na yemra hye bedwafo no bi di omo ano keka no. Aya na omo mfata so megina bebi omo gina no. Muma yentie no.
Sa wo ye MPP ni mapa. Na wo koto se MPP 4 ana se MPP ni any NDC ni eko a. Bo MPP ni no na ye bu NDC ni no. We are giving the EC 1 week. 1 week. 1 week, 7 days. The EC must come and declare our candidate as the winner of the Abeiku election. If the NDC led by Mahama Ayariga will not be reasonable, no matter as you say, Abeiku, based on all the evidence available, the winner. No more margin somebody to trust them, they will continue. You are not going to allow the EC to collect. Asungia di asungia munye bi opale. Se IGP ayena against Obeya Shahan. So we are MPP ni mapa. Now we got to say MPP 4 and now say MPP ni any NDC ni ekwa. Bo MPP ni no na ye bu NDC ni no. We are giving the EC 1 week. 1 week. 1 week, 7 days, the EC must come and declare our candidate as
Abrana na
Ofa.
akwa we semba.
Ofa we die kalkum empayfo se je kwakuo no ofa we die what be. Na ofa ano ye den. Say empanyfo Moeshabudong for ya to aba mo for nyo bia se minority chief whip. Oh, for ya to aba na ko Moeshabudong fia. Di break uta Moeshabudong for fanya di break to. Na of Abeiku Manof and some so I intimate create seat no. No for all cancer same way. Offer.
This is quite unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate. Now, yeah, expectation a Nansa no dem prekro no so kro ya ye loyo. Ana we jai.
Offer no se mo de no na offer lawyer na kasa se ana offer mi so mo wo pomo na mo wo power. Enya people na power.
Oh my God.
Offer enya people na power is now power. E de offer kasa same way as if said they own our power. As if said they own Ghana ya wo dia.
This is too bad though. A whole parliamentarian that the people have entrusted all their faith in you, that go and lead them so that their communities will be built. You are rather inciting people to create chaos. What is the difference between a bribi atwamus Captain Smart kokan ya Ghana for tu anu si ne sui ene ne MP mua wokuta Mike kasa chan enso so be na dem Abrana na we are very hypocrites. So we are aware.
Yeah, Ofa ene me can be kura chere your morning show host because of once and simply you were kwaku an do can the same time of your chain and brand this among you no power. In the offer there na train say you are IGP dampare. But this time of anke ka say kura no anke you are Adom pre of anka or police. You are a year event say Canadian pon of can the same thing yet one safre no. Enti e ban say na Adom pre the offer. Police for IGP of more train there.
Brandon, this is quite unfortunate. And like I said, no, as I said, Ghana, yempenim for no, they are almost the adjuni e diagro. Now, this is a person that mobilizing youth. I'm on the bus call parliament, okay?
Yeah, from Kaipa.
Whereby he shouldn't have done that. Wojina na kukoso ye. Yade ne ho acha no Onua so ne nam no toto ayampia na Ghana de say ya ne ya ne said Trump pamia me ya bafie ne ya baba na omo asɛ ho ehe ne ya koda Abrana na
oba be dan na ofa me wadan wa ha
wo wadan wa he antuntum bebrebe Abrana na
oba ba me dan ye single room je say threaten bathroom so e wadan no ho
ewurade yankopon nya odamu ya yedum light yayi
oba dem no oba wani beje pa oba
Abrana filano suko odeko ko ai wona yere monda why munda sumnumu
oba mi tiawo yankopon so do oba ye twen e hwe ni mi say yewura eye Adom pro for beto nsafro ofa na Ashanti regional minister so akasa di nkombo na ofa
yewura Simon Osei newly elected minister no young man no
yes ofa mpacha
okay
Appiah hen ofa wadi nkombo ne ofa ne nsem nkombo wodi ye no ofa obo nsem be se enan eso ofa de dikan wo se ansan kwa na dible no regional minister Ashanti regional minister de be ma no na onim daba ebe kada krom ya bodidi na no hu se empayinfo man ma se wono ne ebe man appointment as Ashanti regional minister
wow
from the side the brand e man no
wow
for before boasting then see no ho say the nam so a wo hwe obo asisi tamulu su ye no opo kan bi kaka so ye den e de fa eno so eho ni nyina ne say ofa yisi declare aba no Ashanti regional seat or declare them a NDC but a couple more kind coalition center on mo declare aba no e de ma MP to ono so kan e ho sem kakra of ye nyina ne say oye ni kase esti obo ase abra mabunu bi ye so mo ko AGA ho na mo akọ ye adwuma na mo de mo pe etu gold ni bi no opono so akọ dem art ne say enye na de so mo ye bia ma obo ase angry good Ashanti mo dwuma di ko so na mabunu sin adwuma ye no opono so de ho sem e de tuja o de tuja so na oba any media and social media and the be adwuma nti media obedi no ofonyi media mfirimu da na obeboa na social media aboa no ma Ashanti region punto wo seba eno so etimi aba wonti ofa yewura eye Ashanti region minister yewura eye Dr. Frank amwakohene of wakasa wode ne ntem bebre atuja no fabre nti yenya ene so na fancy na emrepem na so do chinyamboa yetimi adumosu koyofa
yo Abrana na yadasi eyumre ene Onkomah ode abrayen nyame onhira pa munna ye light off no munna mu ye why
yo fa
ofa
so beba
we ya lucky oba no oyire ne yakokọ nti edum light kura obrate wo ho nka obete mebua
ofani
all right we say Yane Abrana na edi nkomo all the way Western region Ghana and now de a honsam abraya mumfa nchame asa eyi kasa bebrebe fitina wotwi na makasa mama makasa kasa and if me voice no kra mo ya agemo de adan nanso moboa emfa all right we say like I told you earlier we have a very important interview tonight. We all know what is happening in this very country, America. We all know. Nipa bako wa ye gangalia wa jini din ewiase na sisi obi asro no wonam na unyama oka eyama esrepo kakra ma hu police pe wanhwe wa kra obi ampulu nso de bako akwasha munam all because akwaya be bia ye hu adan enra my wife de ne de kotwi akwa bi waba pako ye driveway ye fie kwan ano ono so nim se mba otwamfo ni kyereme a ade bibia ye mark ketua bi na wo de breakthrough paper akoso obefre police and ofre me na mse mommy I also can cry akwan se still obefre police misumi wadwumam me wo na be 30 minutes and a police by obisa licenses na my wife yi insurance ne registration we yi ye bisa akwan license akwan kro ni license me say radom na wase akwan no wanya kukudra from police say license kra woni bi police so you don't even have it. So what do you want to do? I say I'm just reporting as you. I'm say urade me wo hanka me bona sum me ameji police atare ne she me to no sotro odinama ne ebe san yan bonsam ene jaya fa ya hu adi nti se monama obi anya kafo baby anyoye why baby anyoye. All right, thank you very much. JCOP, good evening. Bonnie Godfred, Diaobe Cha, Osei Kwame Jr., thank you. Ohima Ekuya says, good evening, Prophet Abe and patriotic Ghanaians online. Thank you, Sly Wonders there. And all true seekers, I want to welcome you once again. Orista Roxen from Germany. Welcome on the Guten Abend Lebe Kins. Masa Dodson Mintimin can ye, but what traba? Asija welcome on the Guten Abend Lebe Kins. We are now watching them. Why? No, I didn't Jim Naba. Sadia to know. Monfanchame 622. Yanko straight to business. Adom Yansa Aka Yaya Diem. One of the renowned attorneys, immigration attorneys in America, and Yakufodia, and I said, body. America, Yaya Dia Bakuni, menam social media me chinchinam say hey mami bi na no brofo wiawiawia che say ne takrama no class akoshe na funum nam so na ade we nipa ba ga na ni mahwehwe na kira kwan me pusu ahoma na pusu show na me koso no mama ene mesra wo bra na nsam bia wode tom from 2 minutes bia Ghana fo nyina etie bi na omudi bi etu omfo no mapese me ne ebetimu yie na yehunu sadia enoma beko. So we are very much appreciated, privileged to have you on King's Jersey TV tonight in New Jersey, but we are everywhere in America. Lawyer Rhoda Ajiman from Pon, right?
Yes, every day.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, by God's grace. I'm doing well.
Wow. The same voice now na metewo. So when the same the same tone. Why are you?
It's me.
Nyame shirawo.
That's it.
Thank you. Me how would I make country how would I cover of why? I had No, I want your office people to also understand what you are saying. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If I divert to our local language, don't worry, flow with the English. They will understand it more. Thank you so much for your time with us. We know that you are an immigration attorney, right?
Yes, I am.
Based in United States of America, Massachusetts. Madam for busy Massachusetts. We've been monitoring you, and upon what I have observed, I went all the way to your website to read about you, and I realized that wow, we have people in America, and thank God our own is counted among the people when we talk of. So thank you so much. You have what Ghana for him? I mean, first of all, tell us who is Rhoda Ajimai from Pong.
Okay, so in short, I'm Ghanaian. I am the daughter of a pastor and a nurse. I am the wife of, I call him Ghana man. I am the sister of an amazing younger brother. I am a member of an amazing church in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I'm an immigration attorney in all parts of the United States. I actually have 2 offices here. I know you said Massachusetts, but I have another one in Hartford, Connecticut. It's a little bit closer to New York, but that's me in short.
Michelle Kasaya say ya wo wa ha na bia ya do bana wusa. Nti say dem say ontija kra.
Oh no, Mpatra, you know what? My general hospital. But when I came, I was very young. But you know, I still, because of my mother, my mom, she's a good mother. Because of her, I still understand the truth. So, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So, how long have you been practicing immigration law in America?
So, I started working in immigration law when I was in school. So, in 2014 is when I started. But then when I graduated and then I became an attorney, so officially 8 years as an attorney, but working in immigration space is about a little bit over 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
I guess you've been helping a lot of people, including our own Ghanaians as well.
Oh, absolutely. Most of my biggest breakthrough cases, that's what I call them, are Ghanaians. Most of them are Ghanaians, yes.
God bless you.
Thank you.
One day I will line all of them up to come and testify about you.
It'll be nice. It'll be nice.
All right, let's move straight to the point. I know in America, when you want to talk to a lawyer, time, you don't joke with time. It's very expensive. So I wouldn't want to take much of your time. We know the situation currently in America, but there are a lot of misconceptions. People misinterpret a lot of things that the president announced pertaining to different issues that quote or unquote might not even be the case. But you know, Ghanaians, when we hear things, we try to interpret it to suit us the way we understand. We all know there has been this executive orders by mass deportation, which goes a long way to affect series of issues. We know one key area is those undocumented and with a criminal records, but others are now trajecting it to different areas that even you don't even have documents properly, and by the grace of God, who ye obi ejuma, and now do obi mpabu ashedi ko you obi ejuma. We don't know where I can honor brofo. Baby, I couldn't tell my would you have been mpabu ashedi ejuma? She said, "Bebre yem shishwong, bebre fise so mujaye ejuma betinefie. Inti ama kroma ye." But ebi amwa moye lawyers no. You don't see it from that perspective. Can you tell us exactly what the president meant when he says he's going to do all this mass deportation to undocumented?
Okay. So you're correct that once executive order comes out, you know, people will take their own interpretations of it. It's pretty black and white as far as what he said, but the actual how they implement it is where the gray area comes in. So what he said is undocumented individuals who are in the United States will ultimately be required to leave the United States. That's mass deportation. He wants to, and the reason why it's called mass is because he says he wants to have the biggest number of people that are moved out of the United States in his administration. I won't say officially or unofficially whether he's competing with Barack Obama or what, but history and statistics show that he, in fact, is the one that has deported the most people in a long time, Barack Obama. So I don't know if the reason why it's being called mass or he's on this agenda is because he's maybe competing and wants to have high numbers. But the fact is that statistics also show, and research shows that the government doesn't have the resources to take every single person who's not supposed to be here out. They don't. So if you're undocumented, a person who's undocumented is someone, let's say you came with a visa has expired, or maybe you crossed through the border, whether Canada or Mexico, and you're in the country and you have no proof of documentation. That is the person who's undocumented. And so if his goal or his plan is to take everybody who's here and who has overstayed a visa, who entered through a border out. But because they don't have the resources to do that, they have to prioritize. They have to literally create a hierarchy of who we're going to take out first. Because let's say they're even using airplanes. The airplanes can't take 1,000 people at the same time. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's the first misconception, that it's going to just be everyone at once. That's not the case. After that, the hierarchy starts with people who have committed crimes. Okay, you are here without documentation. Like I said, maybe you crossed through the border. Maybe you've been here with a visa and you've overstayed. You were supposed to leave a long time ago and you haven't left. And you too, while you were here, you've also committed a crime, like a serious crime. That is a person who they're focusing on. The second group of people are the ones who you've gone through the entire court system. Maybe you came, you applied for a green card through marriage. The marriage, maybe it didn't go well. The application process didn't go well, and you were denied. And so once you got denied, they sent you to court. You went through the entire process in court. The judge gave you a chance to defend yourself. You presented your defense. The judge didn't take it. So they said, okay, you have to be removed from the United States. And you never left. That is the second category. The people who a judge has ordered you to leave, whether a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you haven't left. That is the second category of people that he says that he's focusing on. And the reason is because those people, they have their information already, right? If you went through a court system, they mostly have your address because they have to send you court documents. And by law, you're supposed to update the courts of where you live and all of that. So those are the people that they know where you live and they know your whereabouts. The people who, let's say, have committed crimes, they know where you live, they know your whereabouts because you are in the criminal system. Your information has been given to a government agency. So that is the official priority. But I think the concern is that in the attempt to get the ones that we've come for, if we catch anybody else in the middle of that, we'll take them too. So that's where the fear is coming from.
Oh, so I overheard there were about 13 million immigrants that they've targeted. They have them in the system. It includes those who even did this marriage and it didn't go well. They already have them.
What do you mean have them?
But,
they haven't detained?
They already have their information that these people are targeted.
Yes. So if you've entered the immigration court system or you've entered the criminal court system in some way, your information is accessible by the government.
I'll run my code different states. So I'm winning my address. And swear.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you have a case in immigration courts and you move, you're supposed to update them of your address. That's the thing. The law is pretty strategic. So if you have a pending immigration case, let's say right now I live in Massachusetts, if a client moves to California, he's supposed to update the courts and say he's moved to California, so that in some cases they'll move your court case to California. So at any given point, they'll know where you are.
Minim Arabia ofi Mexico be uremu.
Okay.
Na Obano no kuta ne asylum document. Inti airport ha no yamane be mu. Ana wono ma no phone. Omo de bibi to ne phone so. Se baby obia no otepepe onjina no ntwa ne ho picture. Na onsane. Na at a point no address no the man ofiri ho ekotena baby foforo ana okonya eja another table adwuma bi na wo ye ewo mu na nipa bonofo yanumfo ba obe attack no, and they nearly killed him, but luckily for him there were police at that area until omo rashi be save no ana omo che wo yes ana ba ko adechi na akọ police akọ court adechi na fibo ani nya phone calls from different lawyers ni ade ana na wa relocate into fikasim freno catch and said this is information omwenya. They want to find out the new address or wanna unprovided. International say unya police case na kopie court a circulate ko baby am yehu baby awo.
It depends, because it depends on what kind of case it is. If it's a federal case or if it's a state case, right? So if let's say you got into maybe you hit somebody in your state, that's more of a state case. If you committed some kind of a crime that's a federal case, then yes, it's accessible federally, because federal government means that all of America. But if it's a state thing, it's a state situation, then generally it stays within your local state's systems. Is it possible to retrieve it? Is it possible to find it? Yes, it's the government. They can always communicate. But for the situation you're talking about, if the person moved to a new state, it all depends on the circumstances of their actual case. Right. Let's say somebody can go and end up in a criminal case. The judge will say, well, we will release you pending your trial. But whenever you leave the state, you have to let us know, or you're not allowed to leave the state. If you do, then we'll arrest you and keep you in jail or keep you in prison until your trial ends. So it all depends on the circumstance. But in general, if you have any interaction with the government, with law enforcement, I don't want to say the government's just the government, but with law enforcement, and your information is given to them, yes, it stays there. They have it.
Wonderful. Let's move on to the main issue.
Yes.
I think you made a short voice audio, a video out there telling people to be wide awake and also be informed with the current situation so they know what to do. There has been a lot of other reports saying right now, if you are a citizen and you are traveling outside to your country, you need Ghana visa or wherever country you come from. If you don't take visa and you are coming back, they will take your passport from you. Is that a case?
So let me back up a little bit, right? So I am an immigrant, and so because of that, I'm in a lot of immigrants group chats, right? I'm also an immigration attorney. So I'm also in immigration attorney group chats. And that particular morning, I actually wasn't feeling well, so I didn't go to work. And I saw it in my immigration lawyers group chat that someone had posted it that this is something that's running through the immigrant circle. And then I think maybe an hour later, I think about 2 or 3 different people sent it to me. And then I saw it in another, Ghanaian group chats that I'm in. And I read it, and as an immigration attorney, one of my, especially as a Ghanaian too, one of my responsibilities is say, if I hear something or I read something that I know is not true, and it's in my power to correct it, I have to. Because I feel like it's a disservice. That's how I see it. So the post said that an Ivorian person traveled to Ivory Coast, I'm assuming. The person's also a U.S. citizen. And when they entered their country, they used their Ivorian passports. When they left their country, I'm assuming they used their Ivorian passports as well. When they got to America, the officer, CBP, so that's the Customs and Border Protection, the message said immigration officer, which that's very vague because immigration is broad. There's CBP, there's ICE, there's USCIS officers. So saying immigration officer number 1 tells me that this thing is, as a lawyer, I need to read it closely. Customs and Border Protection is who you would come in contact with at the airports. The story says that she presented her U.S. passport and she was asked when she entered her country, what did she use? And she said the Ivorian passports. And then her U.S. passport was taken away. And I think the story is that the officer said that she doesn't need it, so he's taking it away. As a lawyer, I know I don't know about that specific story, but to me, I can say that's not a proper application of the law. Whether it happened or not, I wasn't there. In fact, I hope it didn't happen for the sake of the person. But I know that that's not the proper application of a law. The law says, and it still has not changed, because I think someone else had told me that Donald Trump wrote an executive order affecting how people who are citizens should travel. If that has come out, as somebody who is very, very connected, and I'm always researching and always staying on top of the updates, if that's something that's come out to me, I haven't heard it. But as far as I know, if you are traveling and you are a U.S. citizen, meaning that you've naturalized, right? And you're also a citizen of another country, as in, dual citizenship. I'm a citizen of Ghana. I'm also a citizen of the United States. There's no law. The law in the United States has not said anything about once you become a citizen, you can't be a citizen anywhere else in the world. That's on the Department of State website. So I have my naturalization certificates. I have my U.S. passports. I also have my Ghana card. When I'm traveling, the law says when I leave the United States, I have to present my U.S. passports. That is what the law says. When I get to Ghana, as the law in Ghana requires, when you're entering the country of Ghana, you must present whatever identification or governmental ID that they require.
Right.
Most of the questions that people have been asking me is, okay, so then I have an American passport. How do I, because the airline is going to ask me, where's my visa? If you have a Ghana card, if you have a Ghana passport, the law says you can present that as evidence because the airline, I think sometimes people get confused with the airline staff and immigration staff because the airlines have an agreement with the individual countries that they fly to make sure that when travelers are coming into our country, you have to ensure that they have the proper requirements and documents to enter. Right. If not, the airline will be sued and they have to pay. So the airline staff may ask you, okay, do you have a visa? If you are a national of, let's say, Ghana, you can say, I have my Ghana card and present it. But you're not leaving the country based on that. You're still using your U.S. passport. That's what the law requires you to do. So you're only showing that Ghana card or Ghana passport as evidence that when I get to Ghana, I will be allowed to enter. So that you, Delta, British Airways, whatever the airline is, you won't get in trouble. Because that's all they're asking. They want to make sure that when you arrive, you be admitted. They're doing their parts. That's where the big thing is. But the law states U.S. citizen leaving the country presents U.S. passport to leave. When I enter Ghana, I must abide by whatever Ghana's laws of entry are. That's what the U.S. law also says. If you're a dual citizen and you're traveling, how you enter the other country is subjected to that country's policy. There are some countries that state that even if you are a citizen of that country, right, and you are also a citizen of the U.S., you must get a visa to enter. Some countries have that. Even if you're going home, that's where you were born, but you've moved out and you're a citizen elsewhere, they require you to get a visa. If that's the law for your country, then you follow that law. Once you leave the United States and you fall into the jurisdiction of another country, the U.S. laws end at the gates where the other country's laws begin. U.S. laws cannot push into another country. Countries are sovereign. So that's why when I saw the article, the story, I said, if truly this person went through this, then the officer that she came in contact with does not know the law and did not apply the law correctly, because she left with the U.S. passport as she was supposed to. You enter the country you're going to based on the laws of that country, which she did. And then when you return as a U.S. citizen, you show your U.S. passport to enter as a U.S. citizen. How you entered Ghana, how you entered Ivory Coast, how you entered Nigeria is based on that country's laws.
Okay.
So there it is.
Okay. Must someone apply for dual citizenship, or the moment you get your passport in America, that's it? Once you have Ghana passport, you become automatic dual citizen, or you should apply for it?
So it depends on the country. So U.S. doesn't have any formal application for dual citizenship. There's no application that you fill out or you sign. It's almost an operation of law, right? And that's the primary reason is because the U.S. government's process hasn't said anything about that. They've been silent on the process of dual citizenship. All that they say is that you can maintain your status as a citizen and you're not required to forsake your status as a citizen in other countries. That's not the same for all other countries. There may be some countries that will say the moment you come and say, I pledge allegiance to America, you've cut your ties with us. But let's say I was born in Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian citizen. I've come to America, I've now become a U.S. citizen. U.S. doesn't require me to fill out any form. Once I've naturalized and received my certificate of citizenship or naturalization certificates, and I've got my U.S. passports, I'm fine. But the issue is the country, your original home country. Because a country like Ghana does actually have a form where you are supposed to fill out for dual citizenship. Some countries do. And so it comes down to the country that you're most often your home country, because I'm telling you now the U.S. doesn't have any form. But if also your home country doesn't have any form or any fees for you to pay, then yes, you just have your two passports, and by operation of law, you're just a dual citizen. But if your country does have a requirement, I believe, and don't quote me, I think Ghana's is some application you have to fill out, and I think you pay $250 or something like that to get the dual citizenship status. So whatever that is for the country, you do that, and then you acquire dual citizenship. But officially for U.S., if you were born in another country and you maintain your your citizenship from that country, once you become a citizen in America, you are technically a dual citizen.
Sise di Abana makroma yehu inti bebre ehye amanfo mpaboa na de ye adwuma inti amanfo ensunu gujem pa ebi mu kra de ahoto mu agya ye adwuma no obi amba nso ose o sise omu be adwuma mu omu wurawura adwuma mu inti wejai onda nko no kra so omu wurawura adwuma mu omu beto sa omu mfa ho nche wo.
So it all depends. Because number one, say I'm about with Juma, because someone said me catch and see. Let me try. But say if they come to your job, right? It's up to your employer. Say me, I own my firm. I don't work for anybody other than God. So what about my firm? Who beside me say, okay, make sure we. It's my firm. It's my office, private property. Number one, I can tell you no. Maybe start with a warrant. Do you have a warrant? Do you have a permission from a judge saying, I should let you come into this office? So only warrants are, I, as the employer, can deny you access into the company. So
okay,
that's number one.
Good. Memphis so kuta warrant, but the warrant doesn't bear anybody's name. Will you allow them?
So if they have a warrant to come to a place of employment, it should say where they're supposed to be searching. It should say the name of the company. And see, my firm is called Bethel Law Group. So I'm watching also Bethel Law Firm. That's not me. My firm is Bethel Law Group. Bethel Law Firm. So I can tell them, no, you can't come in, right? If they come in, if the warrant's also supposed to say the scope of where they are searching or who they're searching for. And see, if let's say on mobile they're looking for from Afia Schwarzenegger, so I say Afia Schwarzenegger, God forbid, but some mobile will say yes, Afia Schwarzenegger. So when him say Afia Schwarzenegger is not on the shift, only her, I can just tell you, I'm the owner of the company. He or she is not here. That's it. So it depends on the employer and the company and their own private policies, because your business is almost like your house. So if it's my private company, it's like my house. You can't just enter my house without me giving you permission. So it's the same way. Now, let's say you work somewhere, maybe healthcare, where the employer in front of home, they come, they don't come to our in front of home. Then that's different. If they come in, usually they may ask for the specific person that they're looking for. If they approach you and they say they're looking for Afia Schwarzenegger, so when you say Afia Bibi, I don't know, I could say Schwarzenegger or something. Your name is not Afia. Simply, that's not me. That's it. Okay, what's your name? I reserve my right to remain silent.
Okay, show your ID.
Debbie, hey, Pacho. No. Hey.
Sir.
It's the government's job to prove their case. You are under no obligation to help the government do their job. So you are not required to present any identification. You're not required to answer any questions. None of that. You can simply, if they come and let's say they break in, they've come inside so-and-so's nursing home. Okay, yeah, Afia Schwarzenegger. So if you know Afia Schwarzenegger, you can just either ask to be excused, or it depends on how they do it. If they say everybody comes to this room and you are in the room, we're looking for Afia Schwarzenegger. If Afia Schwarzenegger is there and he or she wants to step up, okay. If they come and ask you, okay, what's your name? I reserve the right to remain silent. I don't want to answer any questions. Translation, or and if you say that to them and they don't understand, then it means that they need to get
who is Afia Schwarzenegger? Menkasa. Mempesa makasa. Na we yina no twi. Ono agina ho.
The only brofo then fine, but yourself, because here's the thing. So if you don't understand, how did you answer?
Pacha ni how can mentio minimno niao.
But you don't have to give them any information. You don't have to present any ID. Now another thing said, what do you say? This is not time for fashion show. This is not time say, showing it, please. Please. If they come for somebody and it's not you, you are not required to answer questions. You're not required to present any documentation. I would say this would be a good time to have a conversation with your employer, with your boss. Hey, so have you heard what's going on? If ICE is to come here, what is our policy? So that you know if your employer is the one that's going to protect you or not. Some companies are doing that. Some schools are doing that, because ICE is going to be some schools, and some school principals are saying, we won't let you enter. And they have left. So it all depends on, it depends on who you're working for and where you're working.
Oh, okay. That's good. Lawyer Rhoda Ajimai from Pong. And Ankomah, Bethel Law, Oko, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. Bethel Law, and your Bethel Law Group. Where Bethel Law?
Not Bethel Law Firm.
Where Bethel Law Group? Into Kaka Bethel Law Firm, Ubaira. Bibia Upe, and Wabia Upe Fano, immigration, some Hondia, Yamiadum, Otia Casanase. Nti uko na oka okasa wo mre bebre me ka me ba first na Chinese no ya be lawyer urade mabre o papa na kasa mente on the brofo no kra mente so me dey answer no answer me to my toli but we dey obati e kasa na wabua yen ever since this issue is here no when your official report be say yenuanom Ghana fu bi obi hu akaka adwemu sa ya chi obi wa ha na bibisa when ya sa information bi.
Personally, no. I haven't heard of any Ghanaian being detained or anything like that. What I've heard, in fact, is that people who they have detained are being released because like I said in the beginning, they don't have resources to do what they said that they want to do. So the places that they're taking the people and holding them, they can only keep them there for so long, because understand that America is a country of laws. And see, you can take someone from the streets and say, okay, you're undocumented, you're not supposed to be here, and you take them to detention center. The law requires that at a certain time, you can't hold them indefinitely, which means that you can't just hold them there, throw them in detention center and forget about them. You're supposed to go through a procedure. You're supposed to contact the country that the person came from, the country you're going to deport the person to. If that country also says, we don't want them, you have to find something to do. And the law in America also says you can't keep the person in detention center for too long or indefinitely. So because they've had too many people in some of their detention centers, people are actually being released. Hey. So as to your question, Matisse said Ghana, some Ghanaian or someone or any Ghanaian has been detained. I personally have not. But what I do know is that people who have been detained are being released. Some people are being released because they don't have enough space to keep them.
Na chese mpo se omuso mu nnekura na yedo kwa eyese yedo kwa ya na yedo traple mu akọ na mu mense omukọ hwehwe wachi efi embassy na bia ombebisa wo identity o passport ho nsam ansa so mu improve ado passport omodo beko.
So the process of removing someone, it's step by step. It depends on a few things, because about a week or two ago, one of the things that Trump signed is that if a person has entered the United States without documentation, or maybe they are here and they've overstayed their state, they're undocumented and they just entered within the last 2 years, if you catch them, it's called expedited removal. You can send them back. So it's different for someone, let's say you go by, 2025, so go by 2023 or 2024. And then they catch you or they find you. Because of that executive order that Donald Trump has signed, they can literally do expedited removal, which is just send you away right away. But most people who have been here longer than 2 years. And so that law that he signed, it doesn't apply to them. And so if they come, let's say, to your job, or they come to your apartment, or they catch you on the streets, there's a step-by-step process. You have to go before a judge. There's different things that has to occur. So it's not said right away it happens.
What about the birthright he also signed? There are some who also came in, let's see, 2010, 2014, 15, 16, and they came to give birth. Yes or no? Abofrano, quote unquote, you can so wabaye honey on ye and the passport mano. Ntisu ni bibi chese or ye honey. At this time, no, or yes or koya, yendinano.
No, so once you're born in the United States, that birth certificate is proof that you're a U.S. citizen. You don't need U.S. passports as proof that you're a U.S. citizen, right? So, say you want to the birth certificates from whatever hospital, I know Mercy and Light Hospital, that's to prove that the person's a U.S. citizen. Now, if what you're referring to is what Trump signed on day 1, January 20th. I think they swore him in at 12 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, he was signing a whole lot of laws, right? Saying, after February 19th. Say, America and only visa, only in Abeiku, like let's say she entered through the border, or whether Canada or Mexico, and Papa so is not a U.S. citizen or is not a green card holder, then Akolano, that child after February 19th is not a citizen. That is what he signed. And he also signed that if let's say Umame came to America with a visa, student's visa, and not even H-1B work visa, and not even visitor's visa, and gave birth, but your father is not a citizen or a green card holder, that child after February 19th is also not a citizen. Sana Otroye, that's what he signed, and that's what was written January 20th. That day, I think 2 hours later, one organization filed a lawsuit saying, it's unconstitutional. The founding fathers of this country, centuries ago, said this and this and this is what we believe in. So what he's saying is not constitutional, so it shouldn't stand. That was that same day. 2 days later, the next day, about 18 states also challenges what he's saying is not constitutional. That Thursday, now is the first week. He came January 20th. By the third day, everybody was challenging what he had done. a few days later, in Washington State, not DC, Washington State, a judge there said that we are putting a pause on this law that he said he wants to make happen. We are putting a pause on it for 14 days and see. Let's just everybody just relax, just stop. Things will remain as they are while we discuss this in courts. And not literally just yesterday, a judge from Maryland said this 14 days. This thing is stopped. It's paused until it's solved and it's until we've discussed it and figured out what exactly needs to be what the law says. And see, before and not, this law was supposed to happen February 19th. But as I sit here now, this law has been paused. And see, if you give birth today, yesterday, tomorrow, next week, February 21st, your child is fine. Because the law that was supposed to happen on February 19th, as of now, is paused.
Montam obia oyimbia mubawa monwe enimia ansana February 19 de say yandru ho nti wa oyimbia ubawo ntam kra wo de premature sira kra no survive monwo mgu ho na obi anye safe yampe problem bia ansana sa ade we Ben Sanders make some comment on this issue say as Trump America mrano as a Kwame so peso titia so is going beyond or excuse me overboard kwanya ofa so America mrano ntisa eninti wonom be sorry gina akoetia dia oye no ohwa certain executive orders wo no because we use executive order to ye bibi na obeka se emrano makwandia. Then what is the use of an executive order?
So that's the beautiful thing about America. Nobody has absolute power. There's a thing called checks and balances. And he said there's three branches. The court is there, president is there, Congress is there. So if anybody tries to do something that another area of law says, wait, that's not right, they can stop it. And that's what's happened. Like I said, the executive order is, the president says this is what has become law. It's the law. That's what he says. But because of checks and balances, people can go to court and say, okay, we're coming to the court for you to figure this out and to help us challenge what the president is doing because the president is not applying the law correctly. And so the courts can say, okay, until we solve this and figure out how the law is supposed to be applied, the law cannot go into effect. And so that's what's happening. So but what Bernie Sanders is saying is it's possible, right? He's signing things. But judges are also doing what they are doing. And so I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Someone is asking a question that he's now preparing to go for an interview in Ghana for his visa. He says, what advice will you give to him because he's applying for B1, B2? Must he continue because it has brought fear in him that he might be denied?
So nothing that is really happening right now, none of the executive orders, none of the things you are hearing and seeing really apply to visa applications or really apply to even marriage-based green card, our ASM. None of that, the executive orders applies to that because I think people have been saying, Afia, you can't file for your wife. You can't, please file and file now. Okay, file and file now. Because for the last year, I think for the last 4 years when Biden was in office, I think I've gone to maybe 3 interviews for marriage green cards. Most of my clients were getting their green cards in the mail, no interview. Things were moving fast. I've had one client get his green card from the date of filing to the dates that he got his green card was 6 weeks. I kid you not. Both he and I were surprised. And I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, and I'm not promising or guaranteeing that. But that's what things were like in the past. Right now, things are still sort of like that, but it's expected that it will change. Because this administration right now, his focus is on what he has promised the people, mass deportation. At some points, it will shift to other areas of immigration. So if you've been watching the news, you've heard him say H-1B. That's been really big in the news right now.
Right.
Promise, say, work or school America and you graduated, you should get a green card. At some point, they may move to that part of immigration. Okay, so to the person who's applying for a visitor's visa, you shouldn't be afraid about anything that's happening in America right now. I understand you're going to an American embassy in Ghana, but you should be fine. How do you prepare? What are you coming to America to do? If you're coming on a visitor's visa, understand that visitor's visa, Americans see it as a vacation visa. Most Americans are going on vacation maybe twice a year. So if you say you're coming to stay for 6 months and you're not really specific about what you're coming to do, the officer is not going to allow you to come because they believe that everyone is using that visa to enter America and never go back, because that's what a lot of people have done. So if you're trying to go and get a visitor's visa, the biggest thing you have to prove to that officer is, I will come back. I'll come back to Ghana, my motherland.
Hey. Ebusia wo question bi abisa if say me be jana mo akọ mafa ne bre obakọ sesia na me ma me bi say odene ba aba ha with B1 B2 oba na o take advantage up a school e dey amane ba no apply for school ana onya admission na nurse so okọ Ghana na okọji student visa no Ghana when timi ansesa ne status no maybe it doesn't case obetimi asesa ne status no ha but why sa and or call Ghana during the interview no I 29 the man no bibia provide school na man scholarship consulate no e cancel the B1 B2 no wo no e san deny no
okay
e di ntine ba sa.
So it depends because I don't know the specific details, right? But understand that consulates, they don't like when you play or you're not truthful with information.
Right.
When you came and you said meko abuche, meko, you know,
holiday visit,
a holiday, be graduation or be wedding, BB. I say wako, let's say 6 weeks. Somehow you've been there 5 months. All of a sudden you've applied for school. And now you're asking for a student visa. Now you said 6 weeks. Why? Because I have to come back. I have a job here. I have this. So you had to convince them. Say I'm pampa. But now you've gone and your intentions have changed. So is it truly say you really want to stay in America for school, or do you have other plans or other intentions? Because understand that the U.S. Embassies have a duty to protect the U.S. country. And so they're not just going to be dishing out and giving out visas to everybody. So if you come for a visitor's visa and now your intentions have changed, and also depends, did the person arrive January 2nd and apply for school January 4th? Because if that's the case, you lied when you said you were coming to visit. That's the thing. So it's different if you came, maybe you came January for New Year's. You went to go and visit your sister in school. You've seen, say, okay, Charlie, the school is not bad, and the price is not bad. And then you decide you want to apply for the school. Maybe you've been here 2 months or so, 3 months or so. That's different because you've come for what you said you were coming to do, to come and visit, and now maybe your plans have changed. But if you came and right away you're applying for school, it shows that when you applied for the visitor's visa, you were not truthful. So it's possible that the consulate believes that you're not really trying to stay to go to school because you weren't really truthful the first time. It's also possible that maybe the person doesn't have proof that they can pay for school, because you have to prove a lot of different things before you can just get a student visa, especially if you're applying from outside. If you're in America, it's a little different. It's a little bit easier sometimes. But if you're doing it from home, you have to prove, one, that school you indeed will go. 2, you can afford to pay for the school, at least the first year. And 3, when you finish school, you will come back to Ghana. So here's the situation. You said you were going for 6 weeks. And now you've been there 4 months, and now you're coming back and saying you want to go back to school. It makes you a little bit, questionable. Yeah.
Abe, can I have the lawyer too on my TikTok show to next Friday or Saturday? To talk to her for me. Please talk to her for me. Me baba ko Miss Juan GH or dumpa or TikTok. Now I'll see where the also the application need to. She said the Ghana Fuina Monsala in Massachusetts. Bethel Law Group. I want to say na ya basala abajemwa.
Mumbra, you were tree interpreter, so you were tree interpreter, you were ever interpreter too. So feel free on Patrick.
Because my friend, me yelano, Abrofu bin Farams, it's a gun office in Yampa. All this one I'm saying, and yeah, me mammy, Ampo, we do it. Enti ebusia South office libi or Connecticut, right?
And
Connecticut. Connecticut there ube do one wako mass. But the one ubeba hobby and I say one day just annex I won't time.
No, and no I was there. I was there yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ghana for you na where me lawyer bakopa menyano. And we'll talk about the TikTok program if you have time, because it's a very strong program. Ghana for Basso. Sure. You have interaction with it. Ni na ni pese ya dianso. Eja omuba wonima na o mafia o mama ye na bibia koye. Yo, me jam wako the wrong perception na nam krom na yachiwa yade ukọ ni ade ama manfo abohu. Obi ye adwuma kura ayemhihye wejai ebi kura ne mma ekosku amankora ne gya betena fie because osuro se ommeko school na eja ne bei ni bi na teacherfo ekoyi na ama ne de wechi ade wa be fie advice be na wode be ma Ghana for in general.
Talk to your children. You should talk. You know, the same way you don't want your child to talk to a stranger. You know, so when you know I don't talk to them. It's the same way. If the child is walking to school or maybe gets off the school bus and someone stops the person or stops the child, they shouldn't be asking, where are you from? Because that's the first question you ask, where are you from? That's not a question you ask. So tell your kids, that's don't answer. Tell them, and especially if the child was born here. Most American kids, you don't need to tell an American child to say no. It's like they're born saying no. So tell them, if someone asks you, where are you from? Where's your mother from? They don't have to answer anything. So if you're in a classroom and for whatever reason, I pray this doesn't happen, but the teacher allows the ICE officer to take you out of the classroom and wants to ask your child questions, your child is not obligated to answer any questions, especially if they're minor. Their parents should be there. Their parents are supposed to be there and see. But this is the trick that the ICE is doing. Said they know that for them to talk to the child, the parents has to be there. So they will come, they'll say they want to talk to the child, and what will the school do? Call you, because by law, you can't question a minor without either their guardians or their parents or someone of authority to give consent. And so you are then, the school will call you and tell you, say, okay, please come because Kweku is being questioned or something. BBAC. Sometimes the women tell you a lot of information. Depending on where in the country you are, some schools won't, the school staff won't really tell you, say, okay, Mpatro ICE will have something like that. So they'll just tell you, say, we need you to come to the school. If you know, say, you don't have Nkrata, and this is a situation, and you're being called to go to school for your child, call a lawyer before you go. Call a lawyer before you go. Okay, and if you go, and obviously because I can't come and tell you, say, Menko, is your child, you have to go, especially if you're a mother. You won't sit there and they're calling you saying, say, Kweku or Anna Rita is soon, and so we need you. She's saying that she needs you. You will go. You're a mom, you're a father, you will go. But just be aware. One, call your lawyer if you have one. If you don't and you go, and ICE is there, you don't have to say anything to them. You don't have to answer any questions to them. If they say that they're detaining you, this is what I'll say now. So if you know you don't have Nkrata, you don't have, your documents are not straight, and there's a chance that maybe your child will be used to get to you, have a plan. Because before I started my practice, I worked with the states of Massachusetts, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, helping people who, let's say, the government gets involved and they come and take your child, saying, say, you're abusing your child. I was a lawyer that would represent the father or the mother or sometimes the child. And so I know what it's like for children to end up in the system, to be put in foster homes and things like that. And see, for my Ghanaians, right now, I don't need to see any more Ghanaian children in the America's foster system. Please, we are Ghanaians. There's one thing about us, we are family. We look out for each other. So if you know right now that you have children and there's a chance that something may happen to you, make a plan now. So that one day, if God forbid, say, there's somebody that will come and pick up your child from school. But understand that your child is not required to talk to anybody and answer any questions about where they are from or anything like that at all. They have rights to.
Ebusiana da hono enti mone ye mane ndi nkomo ukone ebisa ahina ofri memfi no enko chekere wase mese na nsia na yesi ye relocate ako different city just about 15 minutes drive apart ana me kachere nkola ise omunye din kosi se be ye omo transfer to the next school. Ya wofia na nkola na dan fofo by we are coming to say bye bye to. Nam say hey bye bye to who? As your son says we are moving out. I'm say where the you? Adechi na school na frame. Say your son say you have relocated, so we have to process. Oh, madam, my bro.
Oh, it's the innocence.
Enti way. Se mensham pabu anwan se mirika isembolt na mi pepe biafa. Enti mone mo man nkasa na omuntimi enkura omo ano kakra obi bisa lawyer number but number no ni ameda to screen no 508 439 4445 mebua.
That's right. That's the right one.
508-439-4445. Ufra unsabaka lawyer anytime. Daytime.
Hold on. You will reach my office now. So Ufra more and you want the tree. You want to speak in Tria. Just tell them say you want to speak the Ghanaian language, and then they will transfer you to my assistant who can call you or someone who speaks Twi will give you a call.
Oh.
But the primary language is English. So sometimes you also have people who speak Spanish, and so some Spanish receptionists will answer too. So if you call them and you're like, okay, I want a Twi speaker, just let them know, and then they will have someone from my office directly call you.
And
but you call them, but it's not me that you will reach. It's not me.
Yo, o personal number the infant tuja. Na mo rich way na mo rich ya na mo tumi ewura ma akwaji twi na mo duru no so no opa bam na nso way office number mo from 508-439-4445 and mo betimi ya lawyer ne office contact e so na bibie ni a obetimi aboa mo na ye nuama akoye advice no de ma yensom na uwo bribia ye nentem Ghana fo ye emoto ho ye de pa enti sana aba obi aye enkrata ibi na ebrese so mo beko interview no ntokwa bo mo ntem amania owotumi no se wonda nko tnehwa matam no so aba etwem enti ubie o mo ade na o mo atwere se on so that you were scheduled for an interview but nobody appeared. So the decision, they will use this to take a decision which might impact the outcome of whatever. Well,
it depends on why the person didn't go, right? So if the person who
say into kwaba omuntem ana ba kuno no wotumi na o ya abo an se wonda nkobiem.
Right.
Ntimi a me ye be man sam na o ya mame a me ne hwe ye.
So you won't go that day. So here's the thing. So she said she won't go that day. You fought that day. Maybe fine, you're angry. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the circumstance. So I'll say encore that, like she won't do it anymore, then that's different. But they're saying say I won't go that maybe what's that day? I pay Niboifu and see or say forget me go for that day. Maybe the next day you've made up. If you call a lawyer, you can contact immigration's office and have them either try to reschedule for you. If they don't reschedule it, or let's say they deny it, you can file and have the case and request to have it reopened and hope that they'll give you another interview date so you can go with the person. That's if that person is upset that day and saying go for way and net. But if Cecilia forget cry like I won't do it anymore, then unfortunately it ends there. Because without the spouse, without the person who's the one filing for you, if they don't go to the interview, there's no case. And the reason is because most, if not all of the cases, U.S. immigration believes that are correct. You are just doing it for papers. That's generally their position. So if the person doesn't come with you to the interview, that's a big red flag. So it all depends. You guys fought that day. In Tokwano, SCNet, or not, we are okay. Valentine's Day is coming next week. Maybe lovey dovey, na fadia was not drink or backcourt. That's different. You can contact a lawyer and then request again a bedding, but it's doable. But it's very different from somebody who says, okay, Charlie, we did me like it's over. That's different. That's two very different circumstances.
Okay, beautiful. Ivory Coast story no. I think say no correct. And I say because Obisu Bisa say please per the Ivory Coast issue. If you have dual citizenship, is it advisable to get Ghana visa?
So I watched a really good video by the consulates in Worcester, where he basically said the same thing that I'm saying, that the law says that you use U.S. passport to leave. But the advice that he's giving, and I thought it was good advice, is that if you want peace, for peace of mind, if you want, you can get a visa in your U.S. passport and use that the entire time. You can if you want to. But as a lawyer, my understanding of the law, and if you want to, and I always say, there's what the law says, and then there's the actual application of the law. Sometimes it's two different things. The law does say use your U.S. passports to go, and you're required to follow the laws of the country you're entering into. So if Ghana says if you are a Ghanaian national, you are required to use your Ghana passports. If you don't use your Ghana passport, you're in violation of our laws. You might have an issue there. So that's where I think the confusion is coming from. Because yes, you can have, because I've been a Ghanaian citizen since I was born in Ghana, but I just got my Ghana card. So every time I went to the United States up until last year, I used my U.S. passport. I have a visa that I got from Washington, D.C. I show my visa. I go to Ghana. When I'm in Ghana, I use my Ghana, my U.S. passports again. I didn't have any proof of my Ghanaian, citizenship, other than the fact that my U.S. passport says I was born in Ghana, right? But now I have a Ghana card. If Ghana law says that if you are a Ghanaian citizen entering our country, you must use your Ghana passport or you must use your Ghana card, then that's what the law says, and that's what I must do. That's what the law is, plain. But again, the actual application and what you actually do and how people actually handle the practice is where the issue is coming from. So like I would echo what the consulates, the honorable consulates, I think Kennedy J said, that's just for peace of mind. If you want to get a visa from DC and put it in U.S. passports, even though you have a Ghana card, or even though if you have a Ghana passport, you can do that. But I will tell you this, that you're not getting your passport confiscated. That's the big thing that I read that annoyed me about the story. Okay, you're not getting your U.S. passport confiscated. And even if you do, taking away someone's citizenship is not as easy as taking away their passports. That's like, if that lady, let's say it happened, and she came to me, I'd say, okay, one, we call the CBP office that handled this, and read them the law. And I've had to do that before. I had a client who had his green card taken from him when he was entering Boston, taken from him because they said he had a criminal case on his record and blah, blah, blah. They took his green card and they were supposed to send his case to immigration courts. They didn't for almost 3 years. So also he's living in America, doesn't have his green card, and ended up having to go back to Ghana without his green card. So I eventually contacted the CBP office in Boston and said, you guys are holding this guy's green card hostage. He has no proof of his lawful permanent resident status. You've taken his green card. You were supposed to tell immigration courts that deport this person. You didn't do that either. Give us the card back. Like, give it back. And so they sent an email, apologized, and told my clients to file for a renewal, and then even gave us a link for us to submit a request for the government to pay him back for the fee for applying for the renewal. So and he got his green card back within, I think, a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So the passport, that's the part that I think annoyed me about the story, that they took the U.S. passports. One, they can't just do that. And two, if they do, you haven't lost your U.S. citizenship status because someone took your passport. It's almost like someone stole it. It's the same thing. You're still a U.S. citizen.
Wow. Connecticut, Massachusetts. In the United States, do you have a limit of jurisdiction in terms of your profession, or you can work any other state? You can do any case in any other state?
I can handle all immigration cases in all 50 states, but not any. So if it's a divorce matter, it's only Massachusetts because immigration is the same. So you go to Washington, Texas, California, Idaho, Ohio, Florida. It's all the same immigration law. So that one, I have clients, and I have clients in a lot of those states. I have clients I've never met because we thank God for virtual video and phone calls. And the way my office works, we are pretty virtual. So we send you things, you sign it, you mail it back to us. So we've helped a lot of people get green cards and citizenship, and I've never met them before in person. So.
And this is your station. Why? From now on, you be a business pa, you be a juma. Me every day because I'm now a staff.
But we'll add you to the favor. Why?
How easy to be an immigration lawyer for United States, and how comparing to Ghana?
So I can't speak to Ghana's process of being a lawyer. I have a friend who is a lawyer here. She's licensed in Florida, and she's also a lawyer in Ghana at the, I think, Ankomah Binti and Cho firm. So all I know from her experience is that Ghana law is very different, and the process is, I think she says the America process was a little easier compared to Ghana's own.
Wow.
So I can't speak to Ghana. What I can say is that it's two different countries, and they have two very different laws. Right. If you are a lawyer in Ghana, you can sit for the bar in the United States, but you have to most of the time complete some courses, and if you pass the bar and all of that, then you can be a lawyer in the United States as well. As far as being a lawyer in Ghana, I can't speak to that process, but that's you have to ask somebody who's done both. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Attorney Rhoda Ajimai from Pon. Ajimano, free.
Thank you for asking, because I think my father's watching. So thank you. That's his name. Okay. So I got married 2 years ago. So my last name was Rhoda Ajimai. My name was Rhoda Ajimai. Last name was Ajimai. And then I got married, and my father loves his name, and my husband loves my father. So we just kept both of them. So it's Rhoda Ajimai Frimpong. So Thank you for asking me, because I'm sure he'll be happy you asked that. So that your name has come up again. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. We so much appreciated for your time with us, and I believe that the good work that you are doing, Ghanaians are proud of you. We pray that you go far. The sky should be your limit.
Thank you.
So that we will be proud wherever you go. Oh, I know I have a Ghanaian lawyer. There are a lot, but you'll be exceptional. We pray that God will take you far, far, far. Any message to your viewers, your listeners?
Just thank you, and thank you for the platform. I know you connected with my assistants, and it was pretty quick. So thank you for the platform again. My goal is to get information out. So if you hear something and you're not sure about it, please just make sure you get it verified. That's my big thing, because Assembly it started Monday and it's caused fire for the last 4 or 5 days. So
as if beginning all right, I say my friend no mana obviously near Obafan Beka Brofan so Kase, who person mon transfer man no Bekachi. You get here. Obisi Connecticut number no, is it the same? And Obenya wana. Is it the same number Obenya or Connecticut? That's the question. But I believe so once your first line no Ofra, they will surely transfer you to Connecticut. So we want to thank you again for your time. May God richly bless and enlarge your coast. If you the offices, and check baby Jersey, New York, Maryland, na if you the employ because ubia na wofa workers nefi tre. Ebebem. Ajiman family, we are proud of you. My dear papa. Mama Ghana, I am proud. And lawyer, he said, oh, I'm a lawyer, and to me, phobia lawyer, counsel. Thank you so much for tonight, and we appreciate it. I hope my sister will contact you for the TikTok show if you can spare her some other time.
Sure. Just, I think I'll have my assistant connect with her and we can set something up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Extend our warm greetings to your office. Tell them that we so much appreciate it. When we connected to them, they connected you to us. So we thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yo.
Bye.
Yeah, brofo. School message akobio. My bro, anya easy. Oh, anya easy cry. Said they make kawum, and so at long last the battle has ended. Now so ben. My voice in here now so my force. I mean you. Makawum. Thank you very much, Bethel Law Group in the United States of America, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and all the 50 states, like she said, she operates everywhere. So if you need an immigration attorney, I will recommend my own attorney, Rhoda Ajimai from POM, to you. Let's contact her. Na Bibia Nkoso. Yamin Shrapa. Aba. Sis Intianche. Miss Juan and Yama means to better chinko TikTok. Appointment to confirm ya. Ya the baba betoso. No be Sampa. You soon you bet chino left back foot. You bet chino munsio ina. Emu say yes. Ghana for Nidia Momohano. Thank you. And also Kwame Jr. That's why says man is nothing. Thank you. Ahima Ekuya say good evening, Prophet Abe and all patriotic Ghanaians. Sly Wonders Ago Fiha Amen. Osei Kwame says despite Osei Kwame despite Junior, our Junior despite. Also we thank God for Ekuya Bruni's life. Sly Wonders say if Ekuya Bruni is due in 3 months, that means Abruanana debut and yet Sly Wonders and Ekuya Bruni wasam na yeka. Please. We Abeiku na ne papa sabi omu neni efra na wawo nkola 5 na obi omu maame eja wom ho na nkola no peni owu mu 19 eketua no 6 na 16 obi akwanyem no na aba sese omu ne hwafo na ise abrona na akwaje ato no ho so na ye kana sam why Robert Sandako, good evening. Miss Juan GH, good evening, family. Hopefully, everyone is fine. Kim Poloba Kwame says, good evening, Honorable ABK. Miss Juan says, please, some of us don't understand English. You speak a little chi or for us. Ha, Omana Omuka chi. And I will babe. Then my friend, Neba Penny. Ebisan say, hey, Asada, where is your mom? Because my phone no ekutano. As my mom is Koboniti. Nam se she. Shekia uchira womba. My mother is Koboniti. There's a name I call Saloon Koboniti. And now they are chira wom. Na ubaka chem se untebrofu. Hectorina Nan say good evening, Pastor Abe. Picholola Buska, good evening, Abe and King Joseph family. Uncle Sam said, please, per Ivory Coast, I've read that already. Cassie Francis says, what's her number in Connecticut? The number in Connecticut is still the same, 508-439-4445. Number no crazy, I come with him. The number has a committee nebrofu. The number has locked in my head. If you're a brofo no bakwaba, no man a committee ne brofo, the number has locked in my head. Anna. Yay! The number na committee 508-439-4445 is lawyer Rhoda Ajimai from Pons Contact, attorney, immigration attorney in the United States of America. You know what I mean? Hello.
Ka ye dey. Ka. Ne bro for ye dey.
Ka dey say ka e debt.
Enye ka.
Ka ye lock.
Oh, unumka. Huh?
Na dey.
And me friend say ka no.
The
number has VAT in my head.
The number has what? The number has what?
The number has VAT in my head.
The number has VAT.
VAT in my head. What cow? So be a cow no.
The number has bite.
In my head.
Hey, ready Yankopon, Oxford University.
Bye-bye, one more cry too much.
Number na committee 508-439-4445. And now, son of the number has bite in my head. That's just a number na committee. Oxford University, bro. Hey, yo, we're very grateful and appreciate you for everything you are doing for us. God richly bless you for us. Thank you and bless you too. For us, never say good evening, Abe. Good evening, Mama Georgina and Mama Babs. For us, say good evening, good evening, awesome family. Thank you. Ebusia, Masramo, Usha me voice ya me bre. Inti me pese me end the show no. Na makoto vitamin C by force. Na me koye me ho edrom no ma na yamwa na pa metimi abaye morning show. Inti mumfa nche me. Permit me to end the show here so that I will go and treat my voice for tomorrow, God willing. I hope you agree with me. Who said I should speak Chi, Mr. Host? Who said? Is the number has bite in my head. Number not coming trim. If you can want it. Obakachem say minka Chi. 508-439-4445. The number has bite in my head. The number I come with him. Thank you so much, Anthony Rhoda, Jimine from Bone, Bethel Law Group in Massachusetts and Connecticut, and all United States of America, all the 50 states. Whenever you need them, she's available and she's ready to serve you better. Yamin Shano, so what you bring any embedi jumai. Yenia sonebre pa na abribia yababone punum na onia edinsa also. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and my cherished viewers. Maybe I medri medimubesi na makoye edro na yaka. Nti mo mai munsam anya wehiasam na dwene ho anapa ewie yumre nyina. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and our viewers. yadamu ina se mojebre na mone ede dwuma yi Ghana beye yie efrise sadia yeba obi man so a yetimi ayire ye ho ye adwuma na yetimi gidin akase wa no Ghana mpanimfo ma ye kwan na yentimi mfa dia yesua wa hanan mbe transform your mind no ni ayan say yese ubesua bibi wa na ukọ Ghana kura ukoduru ha na they don't even want to give you the platform, they don't want to give you the chance. Na so musanko I pray that we have a leader who is ever ready to allow deep thinkers to contribute to his governance. Yewura Mahama Bayesa ebetimi aboa oman Ghana ebede ne ho. Good evening to you, good afternoon, and good morning. God willing, tomorrow morning we'll be back. Thank you so much. And thank you once again, Lawyer Rhoda Ajimai, for your beautiful time, precious time with us. Yami Yaduma Wachina, Yabasa Din Samfufra Bremo. Bye bye.
Oyare ebia wontimi nya adwuma ye fa bibi say ADL, activities of daily living. Baby to say dware wontimi ndware ebia wontimi nante wontimi nya bibi ma wo ho a se doctor sign ne say ebia me Emilia mete hey ebia me ho mentimi nya ne ma bi memu was 6 activities of daily living. So won't mean you perform emu mienu a na doctor sign etraka say oh say ya the insurance company you be say claim you be file claim we say doctor na sign say won't mean nya adwuma it a honor will living benefit no set in na ayeden omonbema usika na eda ho no wo face value na eda ho no you have say 100,000 there were 3 your terminal illness, critical illness, and chronic illness. Those are the 3 living benefits. So what the right policy are, those will be your 3 living benefits.